All right, all right, all right. Hey, hey, hey. Wow, listen, we are ready to get this thing moving here. Welcome to, oh man, divorce is over. So why does it still hurt? Right? Oh boy. So we've got some things that we're going to talk about today, fellas, that are really going to help flip that switch. Oh man, for those of you out there that are still wishing things were the way they were, still haven't been able to let go, still just not sure what happened, and you know really what happened, but you haven't been able to deal with the realities of the choices that you've made. Oh, well, you're in the right place today, right? You are in the right place today. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jeff Tyson, and I am affectionately known as the Comeback King and host of this webinar today that's sponsored through Comeback King Enterprises in collaboration with Conversations with Jeff International. And we want to thank you and welcome you to this. So make sure you put in the comment section where you're from when you do hear this, and so that we can stay in touch with you. And I got to tell you something. You know, there's a lot of hype going on around things that people can do to kind of get themselves together. People can help reset themselves, man. But I want to tell you the truth. Whatever you're hearing, whatever you've tried, let me know how it's worked for you. Right? What's gone right with it? What's gone wrong with it? Because it's not, it's about some real work, fellas. Right? And it's about getting a healing structure that you can use and follow. Right? So today, right, you're in business because we're going to go through something and get you in and out of here. But I want you to really sit down and relax and engage with me as we go through this. See yourself, hear me when I'm talking to you. I know we're virtually, but I want you to connect with me. I want you to know that you're in a safe space. I want you to know that finally, maybe, right? I can't guarantee you things will be different for you, but I can guarantee you this. My experience has allowed me to find some things that have worked for others and it certainly can work for you. So put it in the comment section. I'm ready so we can get this thing going. So, hey, listen, I want to welcome you again to the next 55 minutes that can change your life, right? So let me see if we can get this thing pulled up. I do have some notes here. So if we get lost or we have some technical issues, we'll go back to that. So we'll get ready to do some things that can really change your life, right? So let me see what we got here. The very first thing I want to welcome you again to officially, right? This Mirror Moment, part of a summit series and fireside chat programs that we're offering through 2026. And so it's a bigger community of the same folks looking for some help, same folks looking to really kind of flip that switch, like I said before, and find their way. So welcome to the Mirror Moment, and we're going to read through this thing together. So if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. And I want to really go as quickly as I can because I know you're all busy. But I can assure you made the right choice in joining us today, right? So it's a 3-step challenge to start your healing journey, right? Not a whole lot of things to do today, just 3 things I want you to be thinking about throughout this process, right? And I already told you who I am and who's sponsoring and all that thing. So let's get to the next slide, right? So why Mirror Moment before I go, right? This is powerful. Listen to me when I tell you this. The mirror does not lie. Right? If you look in the mirror and you truly look into the eyes of the person looking back at you, you can't hide from that person. You can't hide, right? So it's looking at you, and you know how that feeling is. And if you were, I think you are, because right, this thing is for people that I may not have mentioned, but I'm gonna mention now that are still struggling to let go, still wondering what happened, still not sure if it's ever going to get back to where they want it, right? So when you're looking at the mirror and if you made some choices that you really blew things up, you really have some shame and guilt going on. So if you're looking in that mirror, who's that looking back at you? All right, so did that help clarify things? So stay around, call your friends. I know everybody's got somebody that's struggling in this space. So, and I already just said, who's this for? I kind of prepped you ahead of time, but it's high-performing men, though. I didn't mention that. Men who look strong on the outside, but feel Heavy on the inside. Right? And listen, fellas, I don't care what you got going on, I don't care how much success you got, how many zeros you have in your bank account. If we don't heal, if we don't heal, man, life is just going to be the way it is for you right now. And I'm sure you'd like that to change, right? So leaders, entrepreneurs, professionals, fathers, husbands, you get the idea, right? Men who are tired. Now check this one out. Men who are tired of the stinking thinking. You know that stinking thinking that reminds you of some truths that you did. I mean, it's really not, it's not encouraging. I mean, it's probably accurate on what happened, but it's not encouraging, right? Because it just continues to remind you of the things that are wearing you out. It continues to remind you of all the things that you just can't seem to let go of, right? The stinking thinking and ready for healing and practical structure. Are you suffering with some stinking thinking, but you're really ready for some healing? I mean, you ready to surrender? This thing ain't for everybody, right? Some folks like to stay crazy in the chaos. And hey, this is for you. Listen to it if that's you. You may not be ready right now, but listen to it anyway, because eventually you will. And I want you to know we'll be there for you, right? So anyone ready to stop living? I like to call this the dressed up garbage can. I wore that label proudly for many years. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man. Dressed up on the outside, shiny shoes, fancy cars, pretty houses, money and lifestyle, the dream job, all those things going on. But on the inside, we already talked about it. You know how you feeling, right? You know how you feeling. So if you fit in any of these lines, stay with us, right? Stay with me, man. Stay with me. Stay with me. Let me start with a simple question, though. This is a conversation, like I told you, man. And I want you to be honest with this question. Right? This is the time to peel off the layers, baby. You can't heal what you don't reveal, right? So you can leave here carrying the same weight that you came in here with, or you can find a comfortable space, park that stuff on the ground somewhere around you, and leave it, right? So let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you told yourself the truth? Ooh. No mask. No muscles, no macho crap. No, I'm good. I'm fine. You know what fine means. I'm not able to say it on the line. If you want to know what fine really means, hit me up later and I'll tell you about it. Right? This is what I really feel. I'm really feeling. This is what this session is about. Getting to how you're really feeling and then let you know you're in a safe spot. I'm going to tell you something when you can't. As long as you keep the mask up, man, nothing's going to change. Aren't you tired of that? So in order to heal, I want you, this is where you participate, right? So if you're sitting out there, you got your phone, grab your pen or something, and then let's go through this thing. In order to heal, I need you to finish the sentence. I put something in there you can, kind of give you a head start. You need to be stronger. You need to work harder. What is another one? Ignore the pain. Now, obviously, these are things that you're already doing, right? So I always took that one away from you. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to really think about, in order to heal, what is it that you need? What is it that you're really longing for when you're laying awake at night, right? I mean, you had a long day, come home to a quiet house or your quiet apartment, or you get, what is that called? Rebound, stop along the way, right? That's a whole nother conversation for those of you that are in that space. How's that working out for you, right? Are they starting to get on your nerves? Are they starting to become something that obviously you shouldn't be involved in anyway because you haven't healed yourself? Anyway, you guys get what I mean. Wherever you are, in order to heal, I need to do what? I haven't heard you yet, so I'm going to keep moving. You know what I'm talking about. Drop it in the chat. Don't overthink it. Just be real simple, real clean and plain around it, right? What is it that it is? I like this part, but I need to keep going. I'm going to make sure I made a note somewhere here. Yeah. The one that we usually hear is, man, I just need to work harder. I just need to stay focused on my job. I just need to pay attention to that. I need to pour myself into my job, right? Or I need to I like this one. You never really admit this one, but you kind of hide better. Everything becomes even more perfect on the outside. You're just that guy, right? Oh man, extra, extra shine on your shoes, a little sparkle in your wardrobe, right? Maybe went out and bought another car, another toy, or something like that to make you feel better. Obviously not working for you. All right, so fill that one out. All right, let's get on with the next one. I'm being a little facetious once again. While that may be true, healing rarely comes from trying harder. You already know that, right? You already know. Yes, but stay with me here, right? Stay with me, even though, most men don't need more willpower. This next piece, they need a new framework. And I know you fellas can understand when we talk about framework, because you're the master of the framework. You're the master designer, keeping everything held together, right? So we're talking about a new framework, right? So I'm going to introduce you to something that my team put together, and man, we're like, man, this sounds pretty. Mirror moment. What is it? We have them all the time, right? What's your mirror moment? Before you met me today, what when you think about it later on, what is your mirror moment? And I already told you what that is, right? So I'm giving you a mirror moment that helps you see. Check this out. Help you see the pattern, right? Because everything starts with a pattern, man. Break the loop from that pattern, that insanity that you said, well, you weren't going to try and call her anymore. You weren't going to show up at her doorstep if you're really crazy like that, and you really shouldn't be doing that. I'm just saying. You know what you're doing, right? That loop that gets you spinning, unmanageability comes from that. And then rebuild the comeback, man, right? Well, I want you to think about comeback as a lifestyle, right? One that is an ally for you, one that thinking will no longer keep you from stepping into, right? The comeback, baby, we all in it, right? So we're talking about a comeback this time for real with a framework, not something you said to yourself or you told your buddies you were going to do and you have not been able to do anything different. So you keep repeating the same old stuff. You get what I'm talking about. Right. Remember, healing rarely comes from trying harder. It just does not work. More cars, more shine, more money will only last a little while. And you'll be right back where you started. So guess what? I got another question. Hey, work with me on these questions, right? This is really important. Obviously, right, we're here together today to see whether or not there's something that we may be able to identify with each other around. And then whatever happens after that, it will be a better choice, right? So let me ask you something. If you could help, if I could help you find peace tomorrow, wouldn't you want a simple way to protect it and keep it? I know what the answer should be, but I want you to think about it. If I could help you find peace, because if I'm not mistaken, there's probably very little peace in your life. There's probably very little calm, serenity, feelings of joy, real joy in your life. So that's a yes or no question. Think about that. Would you want to protect it? All right. So let's keep rolling here, man. Let's keep going here. What's the next one we have is success. And you know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Success won't heal what you refuse to face. I've already been talking about that. Listen, this is stuff you already know. I get it, right? But listen to me anyway. You're built to lead, provide, protect, and still be emotionally whole. That's what we're wired to be that way. Especially cats in my generation. The younger generation is a whole nother conversation. But we're wired to protect and be the man, be strong. Healing isn't soft, right? We can't be strong. We can't show vulnerability. We can't show tears. We can't do anything other than hide our feelings, right? Healing isn't soft, man. It's not. Doesn't indicate your weaknesses. Doesn't indicate that you have weaknesses. I guess that's the biggest thing. I know that was for me. right? Man, I'm like, I surrender, weakness, healing. I'm all right. I don't need to heal. Why do I need to heal? What do I need to heal from? I mean, this is just my own conversations that I dealt with, my own stinking thinking that I went through, right? Because I qualified to be here in front of you today, fellas, and you're going to find out that in a minute. Listen, your comeback isn't just personal. What you think about that? Your comeback isn't just personal. It explains your purpose. So we're getting ready to figure that out. What's that mean? I'm just going to explain my purpose. I'm going to figure it out. Your comeback isn't just personal, right? It's for those around you. It's for people that are watching you. It's for your family, for people that you've hurt. Your marriage that you, whatever it ended up, is what it is, right? So what are you going to do now? Here's another one, guys. I keep coming at you because these are just real things, man. You can't out achieve what you won't heal. I know this sounds like a broken record, but sometimes we men with big egos and big pride, we don't necessarily want to listen. We don't want to hear it the first time. But I'm gonna be the one to tell you, right? I'm gonna be that one to tell you. Sooner or later, man. Right, two things are gonna happen, and I'm gonna stay on target here, but I just can't help myself. This is two things are gonna happen to you. One, you're going to continue doing what you've been doing and continue to get the same results. Well, the other one is that you're going to try it on your own, and you may make it just fine. And I hope you do, baby, because it's possible. And the third one, which is really what I believe is the most important one, is you may find that you need to find some help. So anyway, performance becomes a mask. Silence becomes a prison. Woo! How many of you are walking around suffering in silence? Right? When you about to tell somebody, well, you may not have anyone in your community that you feel comfortable talking to. I get that. Right? Or you're tried before and they broke your confidence, they broke your, privacy. They didn't do what they were supposed to do for you. So obviously, you don't want to go back to them, right? I mean, I get it. So you can't out achieve the pain. Performance becomes a mask because it just stays on. Nothing really changes. You may get a promotion, but here's the thing. Here's the thing I want to tell you, man. Think about how much more effective you're going to be when however your life is, whether you end up never getting back with your partner, or truly stay divorced, and some people get remarried again. But how are you going to feel when you don't have the chaos in your life? When you lay down at night, your head is still spinning, reminding you of all the things you did against yourself, right? Because the steps we take in the wrong direction end up being carried in our spirit, being carried in our soul. That's where the heaviness comes from, man. Comes from all that stuff, right? Anyway. So if you're honest, that's a tough one. Denial will keep us from being honest, right? Because we just sometimes don't want to face what we really need to face. Sometimes we want to pretend like it's just going to be okay. Denial is a monster, man. So if you're honest, you've been carrying things that you really never processed. Woo. Look, think about that one for a minute, right? And not just, chances are, fellas, that you not just never processed in terms of your marriage and your relationship, the things that you've been carrying since you were a little boy, right? That messaging, those feelings that got hurt, you felt this emotion that you didn't like, so you learn how to be a people pleaser, maybe, or maybe you learn how to be a manipulator so that you can dodge that pain, right? You can pretend like everything is okay with you. Anything resonating with you, right? Man, listen, all that stuff needs a place to go. So if that's you, keep listening to what we're talking about, right? Because I'll just share with you my aha moment and my struggle in terms of this, right? Because I was not trying to do everything I could and to save it, and clearly she was not going to accept that, but it wasn't clear to me at the time, right? Like it may not be clear to you, or it happened and you're still trying to get there, right? Trying to make amends, or you still can't let go, wherever you might be. I flipped my thinking and built a healing first approach. So eventually, look, I'd like to take credit for it, but man, someone said, Jeff, how long are you going to continue to do the same things and expecting something to be different? Just like I asked you. Right? And some of you on here may not be divorced yet. Some of you may be going through divorce. And if you're going through divorce, these same lessons apply, right? How are you treating yourself? How are you protecting yourself? Are you going through the pain meal, I call it, because you can't let go, even though you're having fun and all that, she or you aren't really able to come back together again and haven't rekindled the marriage, right? It just won't work, but you're still doing that. You're still inflicting emotional trauma on yourself. So what am I talking about? Flip my thinking and built a healing first approach, right? And not image first, right? The mask must go. The image must fall, right? Let's see who's really hiding behind that mask, right? Let's see who really needs to stop grinding, right? Keep grinding, but stop grinding. Can you do that? It's possible. It's not easy, but it's possible. And begin to think about healing first. And yes, the healing's not just going to happen, right? I don't have a magic wand that says, hey, heal, you're going to be healed. That's not what this conversation is about. That's not what this session is about. It's just kind of a reminder, giving you something to think about, right? But it's important. When you put the healing first, you put yourself first, and you're going to make some different decisions. You're going to have more boundaries set up for yourself. You're going to do things that you know before hurt you that you won't do again, because you're gaining some acceptance on some realities of the changing in your life. What's the next line? I said, because when the inside gets healthy, right? When some of the evidence starts to show that you're working on yourself, the evidence starts to show that there's some things different going on in how you're handling your emotions, how you're handling your spirit, how you're handling your personal life, right? The leadership. Because remember, I know you fellas out there, big bank and all that, get lighter. The leadership gets lighter, and you're more effective. You have more energy in the workplace. You have more energy in negotiations. You have more energy to put it back into yourself. You begin to put yourself on first. It's like being on a plane. They tell you what? What do they tell you when you're on the plane and the lady or the man standing out there and they're doing all these little things? Put your mask on first before you put your mask on your child. That's what we're talking about here, fellas, right? Time to put the mask on you. Well, in that example, take the mask off of your butt if you want with the mask on, right? You know what I'm talking about. And listen, this is just a starting point, what we're talking about today, right? It's not a cure-all. I mean, there's still work to be done, but you have to start someplace. You have to start somewhere. You have to take some different direction in order to get to where you want to be. So the mirror moment is just a starting point. And remember how powerful reflection in the mirror can be, both positively and negatively. Oftentimes, we don't want to look in the mirror when we got a lot of crap going on in our head. I know I didn't. How many times, I used to go in the bathroom and I would shave and all that stuff and never really look in the eyes. Never really look in my own eyes. And, I started talking about this, right? I started working with people as an example. And that's because I realized, man, I haven't looked at Jeff in a long time. Really looked at him. I haven't checked in with his spirit. That's the eyeballs, when they say your eyes are the open windows to your soul, right? Is that the old saying? Your eyes are the windows to the soul. Well, man, I didn't want to see my soul because I was in pain. I wasn't a happy guy. How about you? The mirror moment is the starting point. And when something starts, there's a new beginning, right? So this is the comeback becomes real. This is where your comeback becomes real. This is where you got to stand tall. This is where you got to just trust in the process. And if you're sick and tired of the same results, then this should be an easy one. Right? If you are, I mean, if you're really willing to admit that. So I think you are, right? So here we go. Because listen, I've watched men transform when they stopped hiding. Because that's what happened to me, right? When I stopped hiding my feelings and I said, man, I need some help. This is what I'm doing. Telling, I got with some folks and talked about what was really going on with me. I was able to peel the layers of masks off, right? Not just one layer, but layers of masks. Stopped hiding. Started using what I'm about to talk to you about, some framework, something different in my days. Could disrupt the pattern that I had going on, right? And that pattern led to self-destructive feelings, man. Self-destructive behaviors that created terrible feelings about myself, right? And I said, man, but I said, I want to look in the mirror again. So I call it the mirror moment, right? And there's three things to it. And this is, man, because I'm talking about, guys, we're talking about changing right now, today. When you are done listening to me, when you are done taking your notes and reviewing your notes and talking it over whatever you watch, you are going to have something that's going to give you an opportunity to begin a new journey right now. Oh, Jeff, well, I've been a psychiatrist. I've been to different places and nothing seems to work. Well, that's why you're here today, right? I am no psychologist, but I know over 30 years of working in this space and right, I'm not going to plaster a bunch of names and people's faces and all that for you. If you're liking what you're hearing, then you'll be all right, right? First one, you see it. Let's go through this. The mirror moment. What is that? That's like, hey, man, let's sit down. Let's figure out. Let's get aware. Become aware of how you're acting, really. Let's go. Let me back up. This is going to require a couple things right here. I'm going to spend just a moment here because it's going to require you, the listener, to truly practice three things. The first one is honesty, right? Honesty, assess what's going on. Become truly aware of what you've been doing, why you've been doing it, the triggers, the outcomes of those actions, and right? And let's figure out what that and is, right? So be honest about all of that. And then open-minded. You gotta be open-minded. I know you big high-powered A-type cats, or some of you not A-type, but you don't focus and you already know what you know. Listen, you gotta be open-minded to something different. If you knew to do different, you'd have something different. You wouldn't be talking to me, right? So anyway, I'm just keeping it real with you, right? And then the last thing is rebuild. And that's the beautiful part, because when we rebuild, we attract the right things because we've prepared ourselves to be that right person, right? The grieving process has been settled. The habits that created or the habits that were good are all in place, gone or in place, right? All that stuff. So anyway, I've been working. So I've been in leadership, and just a little toot to my hat, in leadership for over 45 years in relationships and leadership capacities, right? And so and working particularly over the last 30-something years on the internal piece of the relationship for myself and how forgiveness and vulnerability, understanding the power in those, and tears and all of that, right? I work with men off the radar. I already mentioned that to you. Men who don't talk, don't post, you don't see them blasting everything around, don't share, and they carry a lot of weight. Are you carrying a lot of weight? Look, I've seen what works. Safe space, provide that, right? That mirror moment provides a safe space, the truth, right? And then some framework. hey man, it's not magic. There's some things that we can practice on, right? So safe space, truth, and framework. And what is awareness? Write it down. Awareness, release, and then we rebuild. And the rebuilding process, man, I will tell you, it wasn't easy to begin with. Right? Because I wanted to deny some things. I didn't want to accept some of the things that I was told. I didn't want to really look at my part at first all the way, right? This is just me. I don't know where you are. I do know where you are. I don't want to say that, right? Exercises that you fellas are capable of doing. Anyway, I've seen what works. Safe space, truth, plus some framework. So here we go, gentlemen and ladies, right? I mean, this program has evolved into a program that serves not only men, but women as well. Make sure I'm checking on the time here so we have time to do what we need to do here, right? So here we go. So now, when you're hearing this, you should already have a good idea whether or not you need to be listening, right? Because chances are, if you got this far, then you need to stay till the end. I encourage you to do that, right? And then there's some options when you get to the end of that, right? All right, so can you do that for me? Just nod your head. Yes, you can do that. Put it in the comments if you're hearing this, or if you're getting this recording from one of our programs, then listen. Just enjoy the recording and call me up later. Reach out to me. I'm available. You can always reach me. Come back King Enterprises, right? And they'll know how to put you in touch with me. Make sure that you do that. Make sure you understand that you'll never be alone if you choose not to be. All right, so here we go. The mirror moment. It's a 3-step framework, man, and we're just I'm just going to skim through these things, but I want you to be thinking about, hear me when I'm talking to you, right? I want you to really just listen closely and then begin to reflect your behaviors. Go back to the process for you, right? Before the divorce, during and through the divorce, and after, right? I mean, all 3 things fit into this, right? So number 1, face the mirror. No longer do like I did. No longer look down on the ground. No longer go weeks at a time when you think you're shaving and you're looking, but you're not really looking. So, oh man, I'm just crazy. Right? It's easy to do. Those of you doing it, you know what I mean, right? You meet somebody and they'll say, "Did you shave wrong, or did you shave in the dark?" How many of you have heard that? Did you shave in the dark? You blind, right? Razor didn't work. No, man, I didn't look at myself. I really didn't look to see. That's the truth, right? So face the mirror, and here's a few things. Write these down. Name the pattern. What do I mean by that? Name your patterns, your action steps that you took. Remember, I told you got to be honest, right? Honesty, if you're not honest, don't waste my time, right? Don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. If you can't be honest about your steps, then just forget it, right? All right, so honest. And then the next thing is from that pattern, the trigger, right? Going along fine, pattern's cool, trigger happens. What pattern comes behind that? Fear out with somebody else, right? Or you have a memory of something that pops up, right? Or you really just kind of, wherever you might be. And I don't mean to make light of it. These are just real feelings, real situations, right? And the story you keep rehearsing after that. Right? Is that when you go find the rebound? Is that when you go have a little something to ease the pain? Right? Is that when you work a little harder? Right? That grind again. Oh man, I'll get up early and go to work, get in the gym some more. And the exercise in the gym is good. You need to do that. But are you healing? So we talk a whole lot about that stuff, some exercises. And then the next one is breaking the loop, right? Stopping the insanity is what that's talking about, right? Separate shame. Man, no longer carrying the shame and the guilt and embracing forgiveness. Open-minded to being able to forgive yourself. Right? Remember I talked about the open-mindedness, right? And let's get old stories, old scripts. Stop releasing and rerunning those old scripts and be willing to try something different, right? If you want to call her up, right? Write her a note, and then throw it away. If you want to call her up, call me. We're working together. Call me, right? You want to call her up? Figure something out, man. Do something different, something simple, something easy. Listen, your habits change easily when they're easy to change. When the thing that you're needing to do to make the change is easy. These are easy things. Look in the mirror, face the mirror, right? What happens when you face the mirror and you do these things, and all of a sudden you can stop the pattern that's coming up, the behavior that's bound to happen, man. Right? You're gonna have that, right? And then grieve a little bit. The grieving process is an amazing mechanism for healing. Right? You get the anger out, you get the sadness out, you get the resentments out. I mean, you just go through all of that. Makes you a stronger, more caring, more connectable person. So, third one, build the comeback. And it gets, I'm talking about building a legacy, comeback legacy across the world, right? Worldwide transformation through this process. This mirror moment thing is a worldwide transformation process, going from heartbreak to healing. Pathways, right? We're talking about pathways to extraordinary love again, man. Oh, I know you want to be a part of that, right? It's a transformation. You got to do the work, right? Amplifying the message, your message. Finding a new way to live. So build the comeback. I got to tell you something, identity, boundaries, and daily practice. Ooh, that big one, identity. Remember we talked about patterns before. Our patterns reflect our identities. Our behaviors reflect our identities. Our boundaries or lack of boundaries create chaos or calm, peace and tranquility, or anger, frustration, and all the other things that we do when we don't really honor her boundaries or our own. Her or him, I don't know who you're married to, right? When we don't honor those, boundaries are important, man. And we help you reset those, right? And then lastly, the practice, daily practice is that stick. First thing every morning, man, is you look in the mirror and you don't get out of the bathroom until you looked in the mirror and you had a conversation with yourself. And reminding you, say, this is the day I will practice new habits to keep me from the insanity. I no longer have to subject myself to the pain that I know is self-inflicting, and have room for the pain that's going to come, and enjoy the grieving process. So when you get this and you're part of this program, write this stuff down that I just shared with you, because those will be some of the little flips that you can apply, reminders, and we help you create your own, and what that is, right? Practice, baby. So we're kind of winding it down now. So I've got another question for you, fellas and ladies. Has this been valuable for you? Type mirror in the chat if this is hitting home at all. MIRROR in the chat, right? Or if you're hearing the recording, reach out to DM me, Jeff. I saw the recording. I need to talk to you. Put mirror in there and let's connect in that space, right? Either way, I believe in you, and you can have the life that you feel like you deserve. Look, we only spent, I don't even think it was an hour, 40 minutes here today, right? So far. And normally it's about 40 minutes, an hour, depending on the conversations that we have back and forth. And if any of this resonates with you and you want to join me for 90-minute breaking, join me. Excuse me. Because in these 90 minutes, man, we're going to break down something that I know is going to be amazing. Right? And then all of a sudden that chaos starts to fall off. And right, you have some peace. Man, how would it feel to finally have some peace right? When you look in the mirror, you get excited about the person that's looking back at you, right? I mean, your posture gets back to where it's supposed to be when nobody's looking. Your posture gets back to, it gives you a different kind of energy. I mean, there's all kinds of things around that. But the 5 A's, baby, 90 minutes, breaking down those 5 A's. This is an extension of the mirror moment, right? We like to call it and welcome you to the offer, the magnificent comeback. Ha! Yes, the magnificent comeback. That will be. It was for me, right? I mean, it's a bold. I mean, I've been able to do that. I know it's not all about me, but I just want to give you another example of the possibilities for those of you out there that really like the idea of being married, right? And are willing to do the work to go through that honest assessment of being open-minded and being willing to do some work, man. Right? This is kind of what the 90-minute workshop is made up of, all those things. Because look, I've been happily married now for 15 years, going on 15, something like that, 14, 15, right? And we've got grandchildren and the love of my life. And she continues to just surprise me, man, on the gifts. So anyway, back to the magnificent comeback. 90-minute live workshop. 5 A's, a step-by-step coaching with prompts. Right? We're going to participate. We work together, right? We go through these things in 90 minutes, 30-day comeback map. What that mean? That kind of outlines where you're going to be in 30 days, not 6 months, not a year from now, right? We're talking 30 days, right? Some folks get some relief in a shorter period of time than that, but 30 days, if you show up and do some work, man, right? With identities, boundaries, some daily practices that flow into what you're doing already, and you're worth some extra time if it requires that for you to make this thing happen for yourself. I'm going to tell you you're worth it, right? Until you tell yourself you're worth it. I'm not a reminder that you are worthy, and it's your time to change, right? And again, a minimum of worksheet, thinking prompts, some fundamentals, and then we do some hot seat coaching and training in that space in there. I mean, there's a whole lot of other things that we offer during that 90 minutes, right? With the goal of, man, listen, with the goal of providing for you some peace. I mean, he's ready for some peace. I mean, ready for some calm. I mean, he's ready for something different in their lives that you've been looking for a long time, right? So the value of this is like $1,000, $997, man. I boy. And actually, man, I gotta tell you, we left off a 1 on that. That should be $1997, right? But we're dropping it to $147. Why? Because I know that there are people out in this place hurting. There are men out there and women out there that are like, man, I know I'm worth something. I would really like to have someone with me, but how do I get free from what's locking you down? I want to strongly encourage you, man. It's 147. That's less than a date. That's one half of a date night on Friday, right? A movie night and dinner. You're going to spend a whole lot more than that, and you are worth that for yourself. Remember I told you earlier about what? Put your mask on first. Let's help you put your mask. Take the old mask off, right? So you can put that other mask on. You got to take the denial. You got to take the false images. You got to take all that stuff off first. And I can help you do that, right? 147, man. And so look, I would just encourage you. We had an issue with the link on this one, so just DM me, mirror on there, and we'll get the registration. We'll collect the payment, and we'll get you set up. And if you do it here 24 hours after this hearing and this recording, man, I had a little extra something for you, right? So DM me so we can connect. You know, if you're on the move, just DM me your phone number and email address, and we can connect that way. But let's make sure that we don't miss this window, right? 147 is a heck of a deal. I know you know that. I mean, anyway. So, but before you go, got something else for you, man. And a bonus on this thing, right? VIP access, of course, access to the training recordings. And what that value is, a 30-minute discovery call. You get an additional call with me, right? And those 30-minute calls, I try to keep them to 30 minutes, but I know I'm meant to serve and meant to help you out with this, right? And if you're willing to do the work, man, we're going to get down. Even if you're not, I can help you get started, right? So anyway, plus bonuses, the 30-day accountability follow-up plan. What's that mean? That means that we're going to set something up after day one, right? And then through those 31 days, there's going to be a little accountability measure that you and I will do together, right? Yeah, man, I'll do it. Not my assistant, we'll do it together. Because it's important for you to get the foundation down. It's important for you to feel good about what we're doing, right? And seeing the evidence, man. Oh man, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it, baby. Right? And follow-up plan, that value, and then VIP access to some summits, heartbreak to healing. Look, we got some summits coming in where we bring experts in, right, from all over the world in this space. And they drop some gifts and all these other things. And that VIP is usually $47 or $97. We're getting that included in this. So you're less than $100. Come on, man. Don't be a cheapskate. Yeah, I said it. Don't be a cheapskate. So anyway, VIP Summit from Heartbreak to Healing, Pathways to Extraordinary Love, and that's in February. That value is $19.97. So you had a $4,000 value already, right? $147. So fast action price, you do the VIP, like I said, before the next webinar, then you will also get this, right? And we keep track of that. And these webinars are going to be coming every few days. So I would encourage you to make sure that you hear this. If you're on this thing now, let's get set up. DM me and let's get busy, right? Gang questions on that, you hit me up later on. We're going to get the questions answered today, right now. But let's go, baby. There's no better time than now for you to begin a new journey. And I like to be that director of the journey. We direct it together. We come together. It's a safe place, sound place, right? And there's no fluff. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm not playing, right? So if you're looking for somebody that's going to play, then do yourself a favor. Tell your buddy that you know who needs somebody like me to connect with me. And then you hang on. There'll be some information. There'll be some ways I can still help you. No one gets turned away. I just want to tell you that if you're looking at me, you're like, man, that's fine. There's still some information that you can use. I believe that you can use to turn this thing around for you, right? To all of a sudden not have the chaos in your life. Wouldn't that be exciting not to have the chaos in your life? Wouldn't that be exciting no longer to dodge yourself? Aren't you tired of dodging yourself? I know I was, man. I was like, oh, boy, this is crazy. When's this crazy? Like my grandson said, when's this going to stop? When's this going to be over? He was at a movie with my wife, and it was a long movie. When's it going to be over, man? Aren't you saying that to yourself? When is it going to be over? It can be over. Make a decision. Invest in yourself. DM me. Mirror moment. Let's get you collected, get you in the rotation, and let's begin the journey to a new way to live, right? So the Q&A, generally, we stay around that. So I'll just give you a quick review on what the expectation will be, right? And opportunities for you. But the promise, man, let me just talk about that. The promise, the real thing is, boy, once you become aware, I'm going to give you some things that we're going to do a little homework. And man, you'll leave that. After that, you'll be like, wow. You recognized it, but you didn't know how to disrupt it. So it just kind of took over you, right? And you ended up in this funk afterwards. Yeah, you know who I'm talking to, right? You said you weren't going to do something again. You end up doing it. You said, this is the last time I'm going to call. This is the last, if you haven't been divorced yet. If you're divorced and you're stalking her, that's a whole nother game, man. You need to really holler at me real fast. If that's you, hit me up and let's talk right now, right? So, man, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. Let me see if I had any other notes here for you before we get out of here. And I already talked about what you're getting and why that's important for you to have that. And the right question. I have something for you. I thought I had something. I'd like you to do this. Ask what's real, and then ask what you're living. Let me quick explanation. What's real in your life? And what are you living? Are they in alignment? Or you got a bunch of crazy going on? And you don't need to be fixed. This is not, you're not broken. Well, you could be broken, but broken crayons still color. So you could be broken, but you're not ruined, right? You're not really a bad person. You just needed some framework, and we've given you that opportunity. So I don't want you wondering, something really wrong with you? Maybe there's a chance of that. And if it is, then we can still help you get that help you need to change that. It's about the framework. It's about the alignment. It's about, you guys got it, right? So just remember, your comeback is now. I tell people all the time, your comeback is now, baby. Ha! What decision are you going to make? Let me help you out. You're going to reach in your wallet. You're going to grab your credit card. You're going to DM us so we can get you set up and get you moving in that 30-day rotation so that you can begin to find some freedom, so you can begin to no longer be twisted and all upset about how things are in your life when you know that there's a better way, right? So I want to thank everybody for doing this and for Comeback King Enterprises for sponsoring this process here that we're doing. And I want to welcome those that have made the decision to reach out and get us on the team together. And I'm going to tell you one more time, man, $1.47. And listen, and the bonuses that you get on that side of that, man, look, if you haven't noticed, I believe in what I'm talking about, right? And I know people tell me, why do you think they call me the Comeback King? Because I'm help people come back from their mess. Not because I'm amazing, which I like to think I am sometimes, right? But helping them see that we're all kings and queens, right? Oh, man, come on. I believe that. And what did I tell you before about a legacy, comeback legacy of lifestyle that changes how we see the comeback, it changes how we see ourselves, transforms from a global perspective on life struggles. And these are one of those times. So the next time something happens, you'll be more prepared. You'll be better able to do the things that you need to do to get free from the chaos. So I thank you for joining. I'm just going to assume you're making the right decision by joining us, right? And I look forward to a new beginning with you. And most importantly, come out of the isolation and welcome you to the community of the Comeback Warriors. We believe that it's got to be a movement. Stop setbacks and being roadblocks, this thinking, turning into truth and isolation in the community. And the world can change. Be a part of the change, man. All right. Hey, listen, thank you very much. What are you going to do? You're going to DM me on this particular one and get yourself registered and on our team. And let's get busy bit. You know what I mean. I appreciate everybody. Have a great day. Register, DM me, and we'll see you soon. Take care now.